Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Hi students, welcome to the BBA lecture series of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University at the Chaitanya Studio. Today we are going to see the last topic of block 4, that is management of conflict and change. We will see in our unit 2 management of change. What is the next? Let us see the learning objective of this session. We will study the concept of change management. We will also see the 3 stages of change process. Lastly, we will see the steps for promoting change with minimum resistance. What do you mean by change? In any organization, when company go for technological advancement is a type of change. Any social impact, any economical issues, this all leads to change in any organization. And we have seen in our daily life, employees always resist the change. Reason is they have a fear of failing to cope up the situation, failing to learn the situation. These are the main reason, this is the main reason where an employee resists to change. We will see the topic in detail. The change management is a structural approach to shifting or transitioning individuals, teams and organizations from a current state to desired a future state. In this process, the employees, the management in this stage, when the management adopt the changes where the employee has to accept, it is a structural change. It is a structural change where employees has to see, this is then structural approach to shifting or transitioning. Next, it is an organizational process aims at helping employees to accept the change. Anything happens, any change happens in an organization, always management helps the employee to accept the change in a positive way. Always try to manage the change so that employee accept it in a proper way, in a healthy way. Next, in project management, change management refers to a project management process where changes to a project are formally introduced and approved. As Cotter defines change management as the utilization of basic structures and tools to control any organizational change effort. Goals are to minimize the change impacts on workers and avoid distractions. Change management, in change management, employee has to accept the change. So, management always use their tools to help the employees to adopt the changes, to accept the changes. The goals are to minimize the change impact. Whatever the change happens, it's always always have an impact on the employees. So, always management has the solution, always management tries to come up with a solution for the changes in an organization. So, they go for change management. In the year 1994 is the unofficial beginning of the change management industry with the publication of the first state of change management industry report in the consulting news. As per McKinsey consultant Julian Phillips, first published a change management model in the year 1982 in the Journal of Human Resource Management. It is important to keep pace with the change happening in the social, economic and technological environments. Change management has become an integral function of an organization due to the reasons, like we will see the reasons next. The change happens due to social, economical or technological advancement. We have seen these are the factors, these are the reasons the change happens, and the organization has to work, has to see how employee accept the changes. So, change management is very important. Number one is fear of obsolescence. Obsolescence reason is caused, globalization has caused a lot of development in the business. Technological advancement has affect the organizations, affects the business strategies of all the companies. If company fails to upgrade their technologies, will automatically throw out of the competition. So, the companies have to accept the changes and adopt in their organization. So, if the organization fails to adopt the technological advancement, will throw out of the market. So, either they will finish or they will lose their brand image. So, they have to accept the advancement. Maintaining customer loyalty also, they need to accept the changes, because we know the market is customer driven. Every customers have different choices. Every day we have seen the employees looking for the better options. So, necessary to create a future oriented culture helps in retaining the customers as well as making new ones. For example, we have seen online retailing process. Nowadays everyone, we have seen, we every day in our day to day life we use Amazon, Flipkart. What we are doing? We are doing online businesses. So, this is a change, and if the company fails to adopt this change, will lose the brand, will go out of the market, and this change has the change, online retailing is the challenge for the normal online retailing is the challenge for the normal shopkeepers, because nowadays technological advance makes the issue technological advance has helped the employees, help the human beings to accept the new things on their desk. So, online retailing has challenged the old style of shopping. Companies needed to upgrade their selling style to keep pace with competition. It creating a positive environment. Establish a positive integral environment is very important. Changes in management style, technology, strategy, etc. may cause panic, distrust and apprehension among employees and stakeholders. We have always seen the change in any change always leads to the employee dissatisfaction. They always feel panic. So, it is very important to manage the positive work environment, to create the positive work environment, positive environment. Next is branding. As we have seen, we are customer driven. So, change themselves, the organization has to change themselves as per the needs of the market. Employees also wants to work with companies that incorporate changes as per the global standards, because we must have observed, if you are working in X company and X company is the strategy, the working style of X company is the old traditional way. It will automatically upset you if you see your friend working in Y company with well advanced technology in their organization. So this will also leads to, this will always leads to an technology. If the employees fails to adopt, if the employee fails to accept the changes, it will automatic leads them to the it will automatically throw them out of market. So employees always want to work with the companies that incorporate changes. It also helps in creating a strong brand, both internal and external customers. So branding is always an important part in any organization. There are many reasons and forces that are responsible for change in organization. We have seen there are many forces. Number one is internal forces always affect, as well as we have seen the external forces. We will see one by one. Types of changes may include, number one is mission and objective change. Number two is strategic change. Number three is operational change, including structural changes, and number four is technological changes. Changing the attitudes and behavior of a personnel is also responsible. Successful change management is more likely to occur if the followings are included. Following point we will discuss one by one. Management to define measurable stakeholders' aim. Create a business case for their achievement and monitor assumptions, risk, dependencies, cost, return on investment, disbenefits and cultural issues affecting the progress of the associated work. Effective communication, we have seen we need to have effective communication in every situation. For the case of change management also, effective communication is very important to deliver the clear point, to deliver the actual issue, to deliver the solution of the issue. Effective communication is very important. That informs various stakeholders of the reasons for the change. Reason for the change means why of the change. Number two is what is in it for us and you, means benefits of successful implementation. And third is when and where. When and where means detail of the change, when it happens, where it will happen, who is involved, and last is how much will it cost. These all are the reasons, these all are the points which has to be explained. Devise an effective education, training and or skill upgrading scheme for the organization. Counter resistance from the employees of companies and align them to overall strategic direction of the organization. And lastly, provide personal counseling if required, means always we need to see, we have seen in our day to day lives, we have seen in our organization, whenever any change happens, at that time the management organized one training program. If through the training program the message conveyed, then it is fruitful. If any employees fail to receive the messages which is delivered by the management, then management takes a next steps. If required, they discuss personally with the employee for the reasons. Monitoring of the implementation and fine tuning as required. Resistance to change has been defined by the lines in the year 2004 as resistance encompasses behaviors that are acted out by change recipients in order to slow down or terminate an intended organizational changes. As per Brehm, in the year 1966, has stated in his research that what comes closer to a universal truth about human behavior is that people resisting the imposition of change, resisting the idea of change, is the nature of human being, as they do not want to shift from their comfortable area and position. Resisting the change means resisting the change of idea always is happens due to the reasons that employees do not want to accept the technology, do not want to go out from their comfort zone. These are the main reasons that employees feel if they fails to adopt the technology because it's out of their comfort zone, if they do not be able to cope up with the situation, cope up with the technologies, cope up with the advancement, then it may happen that they lose their work, lose their job. So, this may be the reason that employee resist to change. The main reason is they do not want to go out from their comfort zone. So, they do not want to shift from their comfortable areas and positioning. There are several factors that may lead to resistance. We will see some of the points. Number one is substantive change in job. Substantive change in job means what? It means a change in the processes, structure may lead to change in the job profile of people. It require upgradation of new skills or adjusting to work culture. As we have seen that employee resist to change, reason is they do not want to go out, do not work beyond their comfort zone. So, this is the number one reason that substantive change in the job, they do not want advancement, they do not want to shift into the new environment, they do not want to adopt the new technology. Number two is financial security. Always monetary issues are always the issue we have seen in organization. If changes may affect people income, for example, a new method of appraisal, it will automatically reduce the chances of appraisal. So, they always resist that, may attach incentive to performance. Next is it leads to troubles to people who are used to getting of rewards without proper performance. We have seen in our organization many people who do not want to work, then also they get the performance appraisal. If any changes, advancement in technology has adopted by the company, it will automatically bring those employees, those who are non-performer, to a risk. Number three is displacement of job. In case where companies open new branches or expand overseas, employees may be required to change their location. Sometime it happens unit gets closed. So, next is strategies change may make the people insecure due to new and unknown location and surrounding. If the employee is transferred from Gujarat to Bihar, Uttar Pradesh or some other state where they feel insecure, where they do not be able to cope up with the change. So here here change management is very important. Number 4 is psychological threat. Psychological threat includes several reasons like working with new teams member, new boss, etc. Many times people fear about underperformance due to change situation. And number 3 is generally found in cases where employees are made to work in a new environment. Whenever you see whenever you ask any employee to go in a new environment, new working environment, they will always resist to change. Reason is there, they need to adjust themselves, they need to work there in a new environment. It may be challenging to them. Number 5, threats related to social status. People usually don't like the ideas of change in roles, profiles, etc. This may lead to change in status and position, and a boss may require to work with his subordinate who is rarely accepted in a positive note. We have seen many times when a boss puts some points, some of the employees deny to accept some of the employees don't want to accept, some of the employees resist. So these are the situation where threat related to social status. Number 6 is technological changes. Technology we have seen constantly changing day by day. Soon after the globalization, we have seen till today, we have seen lot many changes in technologies. So and employees have to bear with such changes. Whenever there is an introduction of new system, machine or process, employee resist. If you see any manufacturing unit where if an employer purchase any new machinery, you must have observed that the employees resist and they go on strike, they go. Whenever you have seen the technological changes in any organization, whenever manufacturing industry accept the new technology machinery, employee of that company resist that, because they don't want to learn the new skills, they don't want to study, they don't want to adopt that, because it is out of their comfort zone where they have to learn new technology. So they resist. Organizational transformation. Transformation refers to complete overtake of system, process, hierarchy and every little things including the physical setup, etc. Such massive changes create a lot of stress and fear in employee mind, as they are required to upgrade themselves, their behaviors and ideologies. As we have seen, any technology, any social economical changes leads to change, resist by the employee. Reasons are because they require to upgrade themselves, so they resist. Resistance can be either aggressive in nature or passive in nature. What does this means? We will study next. Aggressive resistance is also known as overt resistance. It is a clear form of avoidance of the change. Employee may go on strike, stoppage, as we have just seen, as we have just studied one example of technology, machinery advancement in any manufacturing company. The employee of that company resists to change, and that leads to the strike, stoppage of the work, or may get absent for long time. Passive resistance is called as covert resistance. It is more harmful because it is less tangible as compared to aggressive resistance, and includes behaviors like deliberate underperformance by employees, purposeful lack of realization of potential, low morale, demotivation, etc. As stated by Aykroyd and Thompson, the overt resistance of the recalcitrant and the associated tendency to work limitation has been discovered again and again in the annals. We have reviewed the related phenomenon of absenteeism, sabotage and pilferage has also been repeatedly noted by researchers. Planning for change. This is very important part in an organization when they are adopting any change, because without proper planning we have seen many issues happens. So we need to plan what actually or how we have to adopt that change. It is advisable to follow the incremental approach. It is given by Quinn in the year 1993. This approach involves highlighting the progress, utilizing the experience that has been gained in terms of feedback. It also helps in developing the information needed for major decision. Planning for change therefore includes the following. Number one is frequent sharing of some information about proposed change with the concerned people. We should avoiding over discussion as it can lead over expectation. There should be space for adjustment and continuous learning. If we adopt any change, we need to do planning. As we have seen, we need to also keep the pace for adjusting. We need to also keep the pace for learning. Next is stage gates, the long range change programs that refers to breaking down the complete program into small parts and implementing them one by one. Whatever the program we adopt, we need to adopt one by one, step by step. If we adopt the whole at a time, it will automatically create an issue. So we need to go stage gates. This also provides time for assessment of the progress. Next, develop managerial skills and competency to handle the changes. It's also very important. Assessing the requirement of men, material and money. Planning for change is important as it helps in avoiding any sort of wastage, conflict and confusion. This is the main important points. Planning for change is important to avoid the wastage, to avoid the issues in the employees, to avoid the conflict. A good planning for introducing change consists of the following features. Number one is usefulness, definitive task, integrated activities, conformity by top management, cost effectiveness. As per Terry Paulson, the author of Change, quotes an uncle's advice: it's easiest to ride a horse in the direction it is going. In other words, don't struggle against change, learn to use it your way for your advantage. Understanding the stages, number one is commencement. It is also called initiation and refers to establishment of the need of the change. Since change is a strategic issue, this commencement has to be from top level of the organization. Number two is motivation. Motivation is very important in an organization for any change, because if we fail to motivate the employees, will leads to resignation, will leads to lose the employee. So, the next logical step is to prepare the employee for the possible change in their job roles, responsibility, relationship, etc. The employees are asked to participate for brainstorming. It is very important. Number 3 is diagnosis. Attempts are made to search for main cause, underlying symptoms encountered. Number 4 is information collection. This stage requires collecting in-depth information on the result of the diagnosis. Various alternatives are explored to find out the best solution. Number 5 is deliberation. This deals with assessment of the alternatives found at the fourth stage. Number 6 is action. This is similar to the second stage of Levin's change model. It calls for establishing policies helping employees learn the change through training and development programs. Number 7 is stabilization, and this is the last stage of the change process. It is also called refreezing process, and here we need to see this is unfreeze, then change, and then refreeze. What is unfreeze? Unfreeze means involves a lot of uneasiness, queries and challenging these start cues. New innovations are designed and frequent meetings and brainstormings are conducted. Next is change. This stage the change begins to take place. Here new approaches are followed, leads to chaos, uncertainty and confusion. So, it has to be dealt in the planned manner. Number 3 is refreeze. This is the final stage which old practice are replaced by the new ones. Promoting change. We will see this with the help of an example. An IT company, after being functional at one address, has to move office to another site 20 kilometers away. This is a common transition in today's business with SEZ and IT parks. So, we need to promote the changes. We need to accept, we need to promote. Let's sum up. This unit we have focused upon the change management, refers to structure approach of shifting employees from the current state to a desired state. Next, we have also studied change management deals with bringing desired action and process in gradual way by handling individuals' concerns and doubts. Also explain the major reasons and forces that drive changes in an organization. Change is the mission and objective, strategic change, operational change, technological change, etc. These are the changes. You may find some degree of resistance, but this is considered normal since is disruptive and stressful. Change management has at least 3 different aspects, including adapting to change, controlling change and effective change. With this we come to end of this session. Today we have learned the change management, where in any organization, when the organization adopt any changes, for let us take an example of social, economical or technological, and the employee resists to the change. Reason for resisting of the employee is they do not work, they do not go out of their comfort zone, and planning of this change is very important for the organization, because failing to do so will raise the conflict within the organization and will leads to the loss to the organization. The organization fails to achieve their goal, achieve their mission. So, planning of the change is very important in any organization. For better acceptance, the organization has to keep open space for the employees to understand, to learn. With the help of training and development, the company, the organization has to put open space for the employee to keep learning and adopting the changes. With this, we come to the end of this session, as well as we come to the end of this module. Today is the last topic of our course, Fundamentals of Human Skills. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed a lot. We request you for your feedback, suggestions, and also you refer to the questions, refers to the assignments given for you for better understanding. Thank you.
स्वाध्यायः परः